Now, the Subway Final Word.
It's an elimination game. They are going to respond, and I think they are going to give us their best in this game 6 in their building, and that's what we expect, and we have to match and exceed that.
It's crunch time for the Pens. They can eliminate the Blue Jackets tomorrow night. Good evening. I'm Albie Oxenrider, and welcome to the Subway Final Word, the show that invites you, the fans, into the conversation. You can get your opinion on TV right here every Sunday night. And let's get started by introducing you to the three panelists for tonight. From left to right on the big screen, and representing Trib Total Media, Penn State beat reporter and Pens writer Chris Adamski is with us. Hi, Chris.
How are you, Albie?
I'm fine. Travis Suchik is here as well. Pirates struggling, but welcome to the Subway Final Word, Travis.
Thanks for having me.
And Alan Robinson in his regular seat, ready to talk all things Pens, Pirates, and Steelers. You never get a day off, do you, Alan?
I don't deserve one.
All right. Tonight's big topics, the Pens, 1 win away from advancing in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Should they keep Crosby and Malkin on the same line? And if the Penguins beat the Blue Jackets, will they get past the Flyers or Rangers? What's wrong with the Pirates? The most surprising problem, and was last year just a fluke? It's early, but some people are asking that question. And the Steelers, the schedule's out. We're going to be talking about Antonio Brown after he ripped his former teammate Ryan Clark. Can Brown be the leader that they want him to be? If the Pens beat Columbus, it's our first topic. Will they beat the Flyers or Rangers? Chris is here with his Kentucky Derby blazer and ready to take on that question. You're up.
Derby Day is only 5 days away, Albie.
That's
so
right. That's
ready to go already. If we see the Penguins we saw last night, and the fact they won the game, yes, they've won 3 of these 5 and everything else, and it's kind of almost sad at this point that they get to where they have to tell themselves, we need to play with passion, we need to play with emotion, we need to play with that battle level and everything else they did. But you can't argue 51 shots. Let's put it that way. If they're going to put up 51 shots, I know they only scored twice. They beat Bobrovsky only twice, but the shot attempts were there, everything was there. They can beat anybody, and I know everybody will say that it's easier to beat the Rangers than the Flyers, but they literally can beat. I don't want to see what they do against the Bruins right now, but they can play with anybody, and certainly otherwise in the Eastern Conference. But they also can lose anybody in the Eastern Conference, and they still haven't won this series yet.
All right, Alan, they have to eliminate Columbus first, but can they get past whoever they'll face in that next round?
Are we kind of getting ahead of ourselves here? I mean,
yes, we are. That's what we're here for.
They might have to win a potential elimination game 7 here Wednesday night. That won't be an easy thing to do. I ran the numbers real quick. Always the perception around here is they always handle the Rangers, but they can't handle the Flyers. Well, during the Crosby era, they are 8 games above 500 against the Rangers, 6 games above 500 against the Flyers. And the last 2 seasons, Crosby has 1 goal against the Rangers, 1 goal against the Flyers. But you know what? Like I said, we're getting ahead of ourselves. It's not going to matter who they play in the next round. If you don't get 87 scoring and you don't get 71 scoring, these guys aren't putting the puck in the net. That's exactly what they're supposed to do. They're not doing it. And that's going to, I don't know if you're going to beat either one of these 2 teams and both of these guys remain scoreless.
Travis, what do you think?
Yeah, you're right, Alan. We are getting ahead of ourselves because I don't think the Penguins won any part of a Game 7. But this is still a really talented team, and if they play with that energy we saw in Game 5, they can beat anyone. I mean, this is a 51-win team. This is a team that was 6th in the NHL in scoring differential, and that's pretty impressive when you consider all the injuries they dealt with. And that effort we saw in Game 5, the 51 shots, the defensive intensity, if they can bring that, they can beat anybody in the league. All
right, Alan and Travis and Chris, thank you for the comments. And to you, the viewer out there on social media, keep your comments coming. You can find us on Twitter at WPXI Final Word and on Facebook at The Final Word. Let's get an opinion from social media. If the Pens get past Columbus, will they beat the Rangers or Flyers? Ryan McCartney tweets, really thought Pens would stand a good chance versus the Rangers in round 2. However, if they advance, I'm not so sure now. Thank you for that comment. And remember, keep them coming. We'll stay with the Pens here. James Neal with the critique of his teammate, Evgeny Malkin.
Definitely needs to be a little more selfish and shoot the puck. He's a pass-first guy, and a great passer at that. But sometimes when you're not scoring or getting those chances, you need to focus on getting it to the net. And he definitely did a better job of that last night.
And what will the lineup look like? What will the lines look like? Should Crosby and Malkin keep playing on the same line going forward? Back to Allen. What do you think?
I think they will tomorrow night because, as you know, hockey coaches are pretty superstitious. When they've got something that's working, even though it didn't necessarily produce goals from either one of those guys last night, I don't think you'll see them go back. But this is a lot different team than a couple years ago. When you would match those two guys on the same line, that was pretty potent, and you could get away with it because you had three lines who were scoring. You don't now. Here's the problem right now. The last two series against the Jackets and the Bruins in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, they have three guys on this team, other than Fleury, obviously, and the goaltenders, who have not scored in either one of those two series, not scored a goal. Paul Martin, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin. I don't know anybody who would have thought that. This is 9 games those guys haven't scored. I know Sid is insisting that he's healthy. I honestly, from watching him skate last night, I don't think he is, and I've watched the guy play his whole career. I seriously think once you find out when the season's over that you'll find out that he either has a groin injury or a core muscle injury, which would be an abdomen, hip flexor, or an abductor. And I just don't think he's just not the same player, and I think you'll find out when the season's over that's his problem.
All right, Chris, 71 and 87. You like them on the same line? Will they keep it that way?
I like that Dr. Robinson there with the abductor reference there. Diagnosis. I like all the muscles there in the abdomen area. Anyway, I think, you know what, it's not so much really because the disadvantage to putting Malkin and Crosby together is you theoretically make your other lines weaker. I think the addition of Marcel Gottsch and now Bill Bennett coming back for the end of the regular season, the playoffs, has made them a much deeper team. Their troubles in the bottom 6 aren't as dramatic as they were. And that's going to be what tells whether Crosby and Malkin stay together. It isn't so much how they play, it's how the other 3 lines play. And you can make a case that all 3 of those lines played real well in Game 3.
All right, Travis, one argument is, how can you not want these guys together? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if Sidney Crosby's healthy. I have no idea, but I kind of like stacking the deck with 2 of the best players in the world on the same line. That has to create a lot of matchup problems for the opponent. You just don't see that a lot. It's a bit unconventional for the Penguins this year, and I think that also plays their advantage when Columbus hasn't seen much tape of that. They haven't really prepared for that. So I think there are some advantages with putting Malkin and Crosby on the same line here late in this series.
All right, when we come back, we're going to debate the Pirates and their ongoing struggles. And what are our social media contributors saying about Crosby and Malkin on the same line? Travis touched on this. This was what Bo Lanham says. No, it makes matchups easier for Columbus. You want them on 2 separate lines, but they need to both step up. Thank you for that comment, Bo. And stay tuned for more as we come back with the Subway Final Word.